Is your base boring, old, and or stinky? Maybe it's time for a luxurious upgrade of the mountainous kind. It's time to take to the skies and live your Minecraft life to its fullest potential. Let's get into the base tour. So, as you can see, our base is actually
way up in the sky.
Up on this mountain all the way up here. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's of course take a look at the way to actually get up there using the elevator. But before we get ahead of ourselves to the elevator, let's take a look at the entrance design here. So as you can see, we just have a nice little staircase that leads up to a little platform thing here and up to our doors. And on the sides here, we have a nice little water feature. This is of course completely optional. You don't have to build this if you don't want to. I just felt it makes the entrance look a little nicer, and you can also plant some sugar canes around it if you wanted the extra sugarcane farm space. Now heading up our stairs, the left side of the elevator over here is the way that we get up to the base, and the right side is how we come back down. So of course we'll be heading up the left side door, and heading up here, as you can see, we have a trap door that stops us from going all the way to the top of the base, and we'll get up there in a second. So exiting our door here, as you can see, we're at the base. Let's first take a look at the exterior balcony, and out here all we have is just a table. The whole reason for this was that it looked really good in the thumbnail, having like this plant array here, and that's the only purpose it had. It of course does look nice, so feel free to include this if you want to. You could also add in some tables and chairs. Heading back inside, let's take a look at these little tables here, and these are of course as well purely decorative. They're just some lecterns with some pot plants beside them. Now heading around to the left side of the base, we have another little decoration, just a simple armor stand. And then to the right of this, we have our storage area. Finally, something useful. Now on the sides here, we have a bunch of barrels to keep some items separated from the main storage array here. But if you wanted more storage, you could of course just replace all of these barrels with more chests. To the right of this, we have our simple little brewing area with one brewing stand and one simple little netherwort farm block here. I know it's not a lot. This is expandable, and I'll explain how to do that in a second. And then up here, we have a couple of barrels for your potion storage and also your ingredient storage. To the right of this, we have our enchanting area. This one is kind of decorated in that we have some looms here to act as empty bookshelves. And this enchanting table does of course reach a full level 30. To the right of this, once again, we have our bedroom area, which is actually a nice little bunk bed. So this base can accommodate up to 2 players, or of course it is expandable for more players if you really want to go that way. And we have a nice little barrel up here as well for some storage. To the right of this, we have our crafting area and also our smelting area combined in one, which I know is not a lot of furnaces or crafting blocks, but this base is expandable, and I'll explain how to do that right now. So the way I'd personally expand this base is backwards, further into the side of the mountain. But one thing you need to make sure is that your mountain is thick enough, which this one is not really that thick. We can expand the base quite a lot down to the left. What the hell is going on there? But yeah, this mountain does accommodate enough area to expand it quite a bit. But before you build this, you want to make sure your mountain is pretty thick if you're wanting to expand it. So just keep that in mind. And now heading back in here, all you'd have to do to actually expand the base is just remove this whole back section here and kind of extend this section of wall here to the right, and then same for this one to the left, making sure that you have a gap of 4 in between each pillar, and just kind of go as far as you want, adding in extra sections for whatever you need. And yeah, so that takes us back over to here with another armor stand. We also have another armor stand over here as well. Kind of missed that one. And yeah, that brings us back around to the elevator here. Now you can use both sides of this to go all the way up to the top. It's completely up to you which side you want to use. This side will shoot you up the water column, but because we have a trap door here that blocks you from going all the way up to the top, you'll have to just hold space to go up to the top here. And that also means that you can't go back down this one because of the bubble column. It's kind of annoying, but you're mostly intended to use the right side here to go up to the top. So all you do is close this trapdoor here. Having it open will of course drop you down to the very bottom of the base so you can exit, but closing the trapdoor will give us easy access to the ladder here and up to our roof. So up here, all we have is a nice little lush roof garden with a couple of custom trees, a nice little roofed area, a composter, and then a bunch of wheat and carrots, which of course you can plant whatever you want. And then we can use our ladder here to head back down to the base and then out of the base if we wanted from here. And yeah, so that pretty much covers everything in the base. This one is of course pretty small compared to my previous tutorials, but it is easily expandable out backwards like I explained previously. But yeah, if you're wanting to build this for yourself, feel free to stick around and we'll get started on the tutorial right now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do is ensure that you have an area similar to this one. We need a nice big flat mountain face, so it might take a little bit of terraforming, but if that sounds not so fun to you, then you can build this on the ground if you really want to without an elevator at all. But if you want to make this high up in the sky, make sure you have a nice flat mountain face like so. Next, we're going to mark out where we want our entrance to be, and this entrance is 5 blocks wide. So let's first place the central block for our entrance here, which the door is going to be to the left and right of this, just for reference. And I want mine right here. So now we're going to extend extend this over to the left and to the right like so to make it 5 blocks wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to be removing these later. These are just kind of placeholders. And so for this next part, you're going to need a bunch of scaffolding, but for the sake of the time in the video, I'm just going to be flying around in creative mode. So what we're going to do is align ourselves up all the way up here as high up as we want our base to be. And we're going to line up with our little marker thing down here. So this is in line with our elevator here. So we're going to place a spruce block like so. And then let's place another one here. And I want this to kind of be like the bottom of my base. So from this point here, we're going to go 4 blocks to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place a spruce block here. And then we're going to do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 and place a block. Now we're going to be extending these left and rightmost blocks out by an additional 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 6 in total. And then let's do the same on the right side real quick. Now we're going to be extending them all the way up by 6 blocks as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's do the same on this side, of course. And then we're once again going to do the exact same thing, but this time on the very ends of the pillars here. Now 1 block below the very top here, we're going to connect these up using some more spruce wood blocks, of course. And now we're going to add in all of the pillars for the front of the base here. So aligning ourselves up with the left pillar here, we're going to extend this block out by 2. And then we're going to just add in another pillar here, and then we can remove this block. This block's going to be removed as well, but we're just going to use it for now to extend over again and create another pillar. And now we can remove all of these blocks, so we have something looking like this. Now let's quickly repeat this on the other side. And there we go. That's it for all of the exterior pillars. We will of course come back and add on the walls. But before we do that, I want to head back down and add in our elevator so you don't have to use any more scaffolding.
It's a total fabrication.
So for the elevator, what we're going to be doing is removing these blocks and we're kind of just putting them in the wall instead. So what we're going to do is just destroy a couple of blocks behind this one and remove it. And then we can just replace them with some spruce blocks. And let's do the same on this side as well. And then we'll have to do the same thing in the middle as well, but we can start this a little bit further up as our entrance is going to be covering up these blocks anyway. So now what we're going to do is just keep going all the way up, just removing these blocks and placing blocks below us all the way up until we reach the base. And we should reach our pillar that is marked out right here. Let's do the same on the right side and also on the middle. Now with that done, let's mark out where our platform is going to be for the entrance right here. So we're going to go 2 blocks up and then let's just place in a couple of stone blocks like so. Then in front of the sides here, let's add in some upside down stone stairs, and then in the middle we can place another stone block. And then let's just remove some of these grass blocks and add in some stone stairs leading up like so. Now we'll come back to this in a minute, but for now we're just going to be actually adding in our elevator. So let's head up to the top of the platform. We're going to extend this all the way down here. And then in between both of these pillars here, we're going to be removing 2 blocks deep all the way up until we reach the top here. Now once we reach the top, we're going to be extending this up just a little bit further. We may as well just do this all the way up past the top of the base here, as we're going to be using this to get up to the roof, of course. So let's just extend it 1 block above the topmost pillar here, and let's just do the same on the other side, of course. Now with that done, we're going to ensure that every block on the inside is actually some stone, so just replace any blocks. Now on the left side, which is going to be our entry, we're going to be replacing the very bottommost block here with a soul sand. And then on the right side, we're going to replace this block with a stone slab, and then also you can just fill it up with some water. Then let's stand on top of the blocks on the inside here and add in our doors. So first door like so, second door like this. Heading back out here, we're going to add some upside down stairs above these, and then we're just going to be extending some glass all the way up to the top. And we're going to extend these all the way up to this block here, so just 1 block below our topmost block. And then at the very top here, we're just going to be adding in some spruce logs like so. Now let's extend the glass all the way down on the other side. And then right here in between the 2 doors, we're going to be adding in a spruce fence, and on top of it, a lantern. Now comes the tricky part, which is adding the water into our actual elevator side that shoots us up. So the easiest way to do this would be to place a water bucket at the very top, so all the way up here. And then the problem with this is that each water block here isn't actually a source, so our elevator doesn't work. But once we start adding in buckets, you see that it starts pushing us up. Now the easiest way to do this without getting a whole bunch of water buckets is to actually use kelp. So you can place some kelp at the very bottom and then just keep extending this as we go up. And this is actually turning these water blocks here into actual water source blocks. And as we extend this all the way up to the top, we can just jump back down, destroy the bottommost kelp block, and now as you can see, our water elevator shoots us all the way up to the top. So that's the easiest way to do it. Feel free to go ahead and do that whichever way you want. Now let's finish up with the bottom entrance design here before we move on to the rest of the base. So on the left side here, we're going to be placing some full blocks, and then we're also going to replace this block here with a stone block. Then let's remove these 6 grass blocks to the left of the area, and we're going to be adding in a ring of stone stairs around like so. Let's also replace these grass blocks with some stone, and also this bottom block as well. Now let's quickly repeat this on the other side. We're also going to be filling in these blocks on the interior as well. So let's just replace these ones, and then yeah, let's just quickly repeat what we did on the other side. Next, we're going to be waterlogging all of these stone stairs here. Don't mess up like I just did. And then in the center of this little area here, we're going to be adding in a water block. But before we do, let's actually place some iron bars on this side. Then we're going to place our water bucket and then some more iron bars here. Then we can waterlog these iron bars so that the water flows out. And then let's quickly repeat this on the other side. And I messed up again, of course. And there we go. That's pretty much it. You can add in some sugarcane if you really want to. I feel like it looks nice, just adding a couple around. But you can also fill this up if you want to add a full sugarcane farm down here. Now all that's left to do for the entrance is to just add in a pathway. I'm just going to extend this out just a little bit, just for the sake of the video. And just like that, our entrance and elevators are pretty much done. We will have to continue these elevators as we get into the actual top portion of the base, but we'll do that as we get there. Okay, so now with our elevators in, it should make it a little bit easier going back and forth. And to make that even easier, what we're going to be doing is quickly adding in our floor. So we're going to be adding in some spruce planks all the way across like so. Underneath these pillars all the way up until this side, and then we can just fill in this entire rectangle with spruce planks, replacing these spruce wood blocks as well with some planks. Now it's on to adding the actual wall designs. For this entire big square here, we're just going to be filling this up with some glass panes. Now with that done, on all of the corners of the pillars here, we're going to be adding some spruce trapdoors. Just like that. And now let's just quickly do this on the other side, of course. Next, we're going to be moving on to the front pillar designs. So firstly, we're going to be adding some spruce stairs on the bottom areas here, and then we're also going to be adding some up here as well, in line with our spruce trapdoors. And then we're going to be adding some additional stairs on top of these top stairs. And then in the gaps here, we're just going to be adding in some glass panes. Now, repeating this on the other side, so add in some more stairs, upside down stairs in line with the trapdoors, and then some more stairs on top of these. And then, of course, just fill in the rest with some glass panes. Now for the central area here, we're going to be extending our stairs across like so. And then we're going to be filling up this entire area except for these 2 blocks here with some glass. And that's because in these 2 blocks here, we're going to be adding our spruce door. Now it's time to add in our balcony. And to start it off, we're going to be extending our planks out by 1 more block like so. And then we're going to be extending this out by an additional 3 blocks, but this time with some slabs. Now on the sides here, we're going to be destroying our cornermost 2 blocks like so, and let's do the same on this side. And then we're going to be adding some additional slabs to make these full blocks, and we're going to be doing it in this shape like so, leaving the outermost ones as slabs. Now let's add in our fences and fence gates for the railing, starting off with a fence, beside that a fence gate, and then a fence again, then another fence gate and a fence, and then a fence, and then we're going to be extending all the way across here with some fence gates, and then once we're on this side, we're just going to repeat exactly what we did on that side. Now taking our attention back to the walls here, we're going to be adding in our kind of dirt ceiling. And before we do that, let's add in some more spruce stairs in between these 2 pillars here at the very top. And let's do the same on this side as well, of course. Then on top of all of the pillars, let's add in some spruce trapdoors. I'd prefer making these all face the same way. Probably the other way actually, as that probably looks a little bit better. And then on the same level as the topmost pillars here, we're going to be adding in a bunch of dirt all the way across and just filling in this entire rectangle. Now while we're up here, we might as well just add in our little roofed area and also extend our elevator up like so. Let's add in some stone blocks here on the same level as the floor, and then we're going to be also adding in some spruce doors like so. Then directly above this, let's place some spruce stairs in between the 2 doors, and beside that, some slabs. And then we'll be adding a ring of spruce trapdoors around this, all the way around like so. And then on the very corners here, we're going to add in some stone brick walls on the bottom, and then connect it up to the top with a spruce fence. And then on the ground here, we're going to be replacing these dirt blocks with some stone blocks. Now that's all we're going to be adding in for now. We're going to come back up to the roof probably towards the end of the video and add in all the extra stuff up here. Now it's time to grab out a big fat pickaxe and excavate all of the interior portion of the base here. So to make this nice and easy, all we're going to be doing is standing directly in the middle of the base here in front of our elevator. And from this point here, we're going to be digging in 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so that's as far back as the base is going to be going for now. And we're pretty much just going to be pushing this entire stone wall back by 9 blocks at a height of 5 blocks all the way up here. Now with that done, let's ensure that every exposed block here is a stone block, and we're also going to be patching up any holes around the base as well, excluding the elevator holes of course. And now it's time to work on the interior for the base. So starting off, we're going to be heading over to our elevator area and adding some spruce planks in these blocks here. Now beside and above these, we're going to be adding in some spruce logs like so, and we're going to extend these all the way up to the ceiling. In between these at the very top, we're going to add some more spruce logs like so. And now heading towards the back, we're going to be adding in some more pillars. This time just on the corners, we're not going to be adding one on the middle area. And once again, extend these all the way up to the top. Now on the sides here, let's add in a row of stripped spruce wood like so. And then we're going to do the same all the way along the back here. And then of course repeat this once again on the opposite side. Next up, we're going to be adding some more spruce log pillars, this time in line with these pillars here, and we're going to add in 3 along the roof like so, and let's do the same on this side. And then over here as well, in line with this pillar, we're going to be adding some more as well. Now at the back here, we're going to be adding in some more pillars along the roof. So we're going to be adding in 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the same over here as well. And then in line with these on the very back wall here, let's add in some more pillars that are going to be extended, of course, to the roof. Next, we're going to have to do a little bit more excavating, unfortunately. So we're just going to be pushing this side wall out by an additional block, and same for the other side as well. And let's do that real quick. Now in the corner here, we're going to be adding in another row of pillars like so. And then to the right of this, we're going to count 5 blocks across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on this 5th block here, we're going to add in another pillar that extends all the way to the roof like so. And then let's just repeat this on the other side as well. Now we're going to be connecting all of these pillars up along the tops here. So just go ahead and add in some pillars all the way around like so. And then for the front here, the last thing we're going to be doing with the pillars is extending these pillars here all the way out to the front of the base, and then the same over here as well, leaving out the middle one. So now with all of those done, it's time to add in our ceiling. And this is going to be really easy. All that we have to do in pretty much every section is just add in some slabs on the very topmost block like so. And then in the center block, we're going to place an additional slab to make it a full block, and then add on a lantern. Now let's do this on the right and left sides over here. And then once we come into this area here, all we're going to be doing is adding in our slabs and then an additional one in the middle with a lantern. Then once we get to the back here, we are basically just repeating exactly what we did on the front. Next up, we're pretty much going around in every single corner of the pillars here and adding in this design. So it's simply some upside down stairs, and then below and in front of it, some spruce trapdoors. And we're pretty much just adding this, like I said, in every single area that you can. Even over here on this side as well, we're going to be adding it in. And then right here, we're adding in an additional stair, and below this, a spruce trapdoor. We're going to be fixing this up in just a minute. Don't worry about the weird gap that's here. And yeah, just go around and add it to this section here, this section, and then around this side as well. And just like that, we're done with the little wooden accents. Now it's time to fix up our actual little elevator here so that we can get all the way up to the roof. And starting off, we're going to be extending these stone blocks all the way up like so in between the 2 areas. Then let's add on some doors on the front here. And then above these, we're going to be adding in some glass blocks. Now on the right side here, we're going to open up our door and add in a trapdoor right at the bottom here. Then above this, we're going to extend some ladders all the way up to the top. And this is going to be the main way that we get to and from the roof of the base, and also out of our base if we open the trapdoor here. Now on the left side here, what we're going to be doing is placing a trapdoor instead, this time up here, and then we're going to extend our water all the way up like so, and waterlog this trapdoor, head inside, open up the trapdoor, and then just extend our water all the way up as well. This is of course optional, as you're not really meant to use this side to go all the way up to the top. So yeah, feel free to add this in if you want. And now while we're here at the top of the base, let's add in everything for the roof here. So first, let's add in our 2 little custom trees, starting off with the one on the left side here. And this one's going to be 1 block block away from the sides of the base, starting right here. And we're going to extend this up by 3 oak. And we're going to extend this up by 3 oak blocks. Then on the front face here, we're going to basically create an upside down T, and then we're going to repeat this all the way around the tree. And then on top, just add in another leaf block. And that's it for our first tree. Now for our other tree, we're going to go 1 block spaced away from this fence block here. So right here, this one's going to be 4 blocks high. And then starting from the very top here, we're just going to be placing 2 leaves like this on the exposed face of the logs. Just like that. And then all the way at the top, we're going to add in another leaf. And that's it for our 2 custom trees. Next up, we're going to be removing these 2 dirt blocks directly in front of the fences here and placing some water in its place. Don't misplace it like I did. And then on top of these here, we're going to be placing some spruce trapdoors just so you don't fall down in the water. Then in between the 2 fences here, we're going to add a composter and above it, a lantern. And now the last thing to do is to just till all of your dirt and add in your crops of choice. And now we're fully done with the roof for the base, and we can head back down our right side door into the actual base. And now it's on to the rest of the interior for the base. And firstly, what we're going to be doing is extending our floor planks all the way into the actual base. So pretty much just replacing every stone block here with some spruce planks. Now we're going to be adding in a nice little floor pattern. This is going to be kind of tricky to do, so feel free to just not do this if you don't want to. And to start it off, what we're going to do is space ourselves away 3 blocks away from the center of the elevator here. So 1, 2, 3, and on this block here, we're going to be placing some logs. But the tricky part is we want these facing upwards. So to make this easier, what we're going to do is just remove these blocks across to here, and same on this side. Then you're probably going to have to grab some scaffolding, head underneath the base here, and add in some blocks like so. Then we can head back inside the base and use these blocks down here to place these facing upwards. Then before we go back down and remove those, we can remove these blocks here and also add in some logs like this so that we can place them. Do the same on this side as well, of course. And now we can head back outside and remove these weird logs here. Now let's extend this all the way around the base. So we're going to be going all the way up until this point here, and then we're going to turn right and just continue this until we meet back up over here. And so once we've met back up with our original area, what we're going to be doing is replacing every other block here with another stripped spruce wood block, except this time it's going to be facing into the other stripped spruce wood block like so. Now that's it for the floor. Next, let's add in our first decorative section over on the left here. So on the left and right sides, we're going to be adding in some spruce planks like so. At the very top, we're going to add some upside down spruce stairs, and then we're also going to add some more on the bottom. Then let's add in an armor stand and chuck on some armor of your choice. I'm going with some diamond. And now we're going to be repeating this on the other side as well, making sure to change the armor type. I'm going with gold this time. Now heading over to the left of this section, let's add in our smelting / crafting area. So to start off along the top, we're first going to add in 2 furnaces on the right side. Beside this, a blast furnace, and then finally a smoker. Underneath this, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs in the corners, and then above and below them, we're going to add in some spruce trapdoors. Then along the bottom here, firstly on the left side, let's add in a grindstone. Beside this, a crafting table. Then beside that, once again, a smithing table, and finally an anvil. Then on top of the smithing table here, let's add in a lantern, and then to the left of that, on top of the crafting table, a flower pot with an azalea. Next, onto the bunk bed, what we're going to be doing is removing the first layer of stone like so. Then on the very left side here, let's add in a strip of stripped spruce wood. Except for the topmost block, we're going to be adding a barrel here. And then on front of all of the stripped spruce wood blocks, let's add in some ladders. Beside the barrel at the top here, let's add in 2 upside down spruce stairs. And then 1 block space below this, on the top half of this block, let's add in 2 spruce slabs. And on top of it, a red bed. Then down here, let's add in another bed. But before we do, replace these 2 floor blocks and then add in your bed like so. And that's it for the bedroom. Heading to the next section on the left here, we're going to be adding in our enchanting area. And for this one, we're going to have to excavate 4 blocks deep. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. With that done, we're going to have to do a little bit more excavating and push out the left and right side walls by an additional 1 block. And you should be left with an area looking a little bit like this. On the leftmost wall here, we're going to be adding in a rectangle of bookshelves like so, all the way up to the ceiling. And let's do the same thing on the right side here. Now before we fill in the back wall here, we're going to be adding in an additional 3 bookshelves here, as we're going to be removing 3 from the sides here and also the back with a loom. This is of course optional. It does just make it look kind of like an empty bookshelf. And yeah, we're going to be adding in another one here, and then yeah, these 3 bookshelves in the corners are just to replace these ones that we removed, if that makes sense. And now we can fill in our back wall all the way up to the top like so, leaving 2 blocks in the center here. Now for the ceiling, let's remove some more stone. We're going to be replacing all of these with some spruce stairs, except for the center here, which is going to be some spruce planks. And then below that, we're going to add a lantern. Then for the floor, we're going to be replacing these stone blocks, of course, with some spruce planks. And then right here, smack bang in the middle, add in your enchanting table. And then finally, at the back here, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs. And then on top of this bookshelf here, add in a couple of blue candles and then ignite them. And then we're going to be also adding in some spruce stairs in the corners here of the pillars. And then above and below those, we're going to add in some more trapdoors. Now heading over to the left, let's add in our brewing area. So firstly, along the top here, let's add in some barrels. Below this, we're going to place some upside down spruce stairs. And then in between them, let's add in a spruce trapdoor. Now below this, at the very left side, let's add in a stripped spruce wood block, and then on the right side a soul sand block with some nether warts, and then we can also add in our brewing stand here as well. Now in front of all of these, we're going to add some spruce trapdoors and of course close these all up. Then in the center, let's place in a water bucket, and that's it. We're fully done with the brewing area. Next up, onto the storage area. For this one, we're going to be excavating 2 blocks deep, once again making sure that each exposed block here is a stone block. Now at the very top here, we're going to remove this central square and replace them with some stone slabs, and then let's add in our double chests. So these are all going to be in the center, and I should note, if you wanted to replace the barrels that are going to be on the sides here with more chests, then you should also go ahead and replace these blocks here with more slabs. I kind of like the look of the barrels, so I'm going to be adding in the barrels. And there we go. So that's all of our double chests added in, and now beside these, let's add in all of our barrels. And then also just make sure that your top chests open with the slabs here. If they don't open, just make sure that all of the top blocks here are slabs. Now in front of this, we're going to be adding in some spruce stairs in all corners, and then connecting these all up together with some spruce trapdoors. And now that's it for our storage area. Next, let's move on to this little section right here behind the elevator. And what we're going to be doing is replacing these blocks here with instead some upside down spruce stairs on the top and bottom. We're also going to be replacing this stone block here with some spruce planks. And then in between these 2 stairs, we're going to do basically the same thing over here. Add in an armor stand and chuck on your armor of choice. This time I'm going with some iron. And now it's on to the final thing for the base, which is the table out here on the balcony. And so to add this in, what we're going to be doing is first placing some upside down spruce stairs right in the middle here. And we're going to extend this off to the left by 2 and the right by 2. And then we're going to cap off the ends by using some spruce trapdoors, just like this. Then on top of the table here in each spot, add in a pot. Starting from the left here, we're going to add in a cornflower, followed by an allium, then a flowering azalea, to the right of that a red tulip, and finally a red mushroom, and it kind of makes this nice little like slope effect that I like a lot. And yeah, so with that done, we're now fully completed with the entire base. Once again, like I said, this base is pretty small. There's not a lot in here, so I would recommend extending this off into the back here. Just repeat this kind of section right here off to the right, and add in whatever you need in the central area here of the section. And so, if you enjoyed the tutorial for this base, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for future tutorials just like this one. Cheers for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.